Day 3, it is Türkiye facing off against Ukraine in the FIBA Olympic pre-qualifying tournaments 2023. It is Group C action as we have the two unbeatens facing off for top spots in Group C. They have both already qualified into the crossover games, but this is for seeding at the top of Group C and possibly to get a better round or a better opponent in that knockout game before you're trying to reach the final stages of the pre-qualifying tournament here. So both these two teams are 2-0, having defeated Iceland and Bulgaria. They've looked impressive. Türkiye came in as the favourites here in Istanbul. They've lived up to that billing as we see the games in Group C today. Iceland finally shaking off the handcuffs that have been there offensively for them to get the 93-76 win over Bulgaria and confirm third place for them in the group. That is our current standings in Group C. As you can see, Ukraine and Türkiye will both be qualifiers as the top two teams in Group C, but this is the battle to see who will be first and who will be second. And once we have that established, we will turn our sights tomorrow to the final games, the two games left in the other group, to see who will be the qualifiers out of Group D, and we will then know the semi-finals matchups. So we mentioned these two teams have both been in impressive form in the early stages. On opening night, it was Türkiye disposing with Iceland 99-72, and then Ukraine eventually defeating Bulgaria 80-71. Although they needed overtime to get that win, they roared out of the blocks with a 25-point lead at one stage in that game, only for Bulgaria to pull them back and to take the game to overtime. Yesterday, 2 days ago, a workmanlike performance from this Ukrainian team saw them get the 82-69 win. They weren't really tested by Iceland in that game, and they've then set up this one, a freebie for them, a chance to knock off the hosts here in Istanbul, as I'm sure they'll be delighted with getting through to the semi-final stages. The hosts sent another large crowd here in the Sinan Erdem Arena to cheer them on, as you can hear now. And how good has this Türkiye team been? 99-72, they defeated Iceland, as I said, and then 2 days ago, 104-66, just a complete domination against Bulgaria. So they are top of the tables, a plus 65 points difference in 2 games for Türkiye, and it could have been more, to be honest. You know, the victory they had over Iceland, it could have been more if they hadn't have pulled themselves back some stages in that game, because it is a 33-point lead for them during some part of the 40 minutes. So here is the Turkish team out onto the floor. They are ready to get underway here in Istanbul. But first of all, there'll be a break as the teams are standing. The spectators will do the same. And we will have a moment's pause for the two anthems, first of Ukraine and then of Türkiye. anthems give you a taste of what is to come here in Istanbul. A large crowd ready to cheer their team to yet another victory. Our officiating crew, it is Manuel Manzoni from Italy there in the centre of your picture, Pablo Marquez from Portugal, and Mikhail Prosh from Poland to make up our trio. So teams back to their warm-ups. Ukraine, we said 2-0. It's been a great tournament for them so far. You know, they've been led in scoring by point guard Alexander Kovlar. He will be in the starting lineup. There's no doubt about that, as he is joined by Krutos, Bobrov, Kratsov and Vojilinovic. So for Ukraine, similar starting lineup that they've used throughout this tournament. They go with that Bobrov and Kratsov lineup, and what that means is the big imposing figure of Artem Pustovi is coming in off the bench for coach Vitaly Stepanovsky. It is, you know, Pustovi playing at his best. That really is the difference maker for Ukraine in my eyes. And his match up against this very talented front line for Türkiye will be all important. As we see a quick glimpse of Furkan Korkmaz there for the Türkiye team. And we'll now get to see their starting lineup. There haven't really been a lot of surprises. Hazer, who's actually leading the Türkiye team in scoring so far, is in the backcourt with Korkmaz and Sepahi, and then Şengün and Yurtseven up front on a big front line. So the three NBA players for Türkiye all in the starting lineup. Korkmaz, Şengün and Yurtseven, and Coach Ataman. You know, he's been quite relaxed throughout this tournament so far, I think is the best way to describe it. And rightly so. His team has played very well indeed. They've never been under threat, really, and this man a big reason why. So Hidi Turkalu, a man who knows how to win in a Turkish jersey, one of the legends of basketball here in Istanbul, in attendance once more, as we will get underway shortly. So we said it was it is Shimas Hazer that leads Türkiye in scoring. He's been playing extremely well in the backcourt. He was one of a host of guys in double figures as they reached 104 points yesterday. Hazer 11, Shetek Shanli had 11, Ulabai had 10, Korkmaz 14, Şengün 13, and Yurtseven had 11 as well. A really even scoring spread to this deep Turkish team, and that's what they've been able to use. You know, been exceptional in second quarters throughout the tournament so far, as they have, you know, kind of just used that strength and depth, the ability they have to continue to chop and change players. And as the other teams just tire a little bit, that is when Türkiye have really taken advantage. Question for Ukraine is how are they going to counter that? They do have that depth off the bench as well. We said was with Artem Pustovi coming in from the sideline for them, that will help. But Türkiye start this one as favourites. They were favourites in the things coming into the tournament. They were #1, Croatia #2. We have seen no reason to change that so far in the games that we've seen here in Istanbul. And if things go to form, we are heading to a Türkiye and a Croatia final. But a victory for Ukraine here could scupper that and see those two powerhouses face off at the semi-final stage. So an opportunity for Ukraine here. You know, they've got nothing to lose really, and that man at the point guard position, Alexander Kovlar, will be having a lot to do with it. He has played very well indeed. He's going to be hounded by Shimas Hazer all over the floor today, no doubt about that. That will be another of these intriguing battles that we've got in store for us here. Welcome to Istanbul then. It is Türkiye facing off against Ukraine, the final game in Group C. It is the battle for top spot as the jump ball is won by Ukraine. And Türkiye in man-to-man defense. This Ukrainian team, what it does have is the size across the front line to compete physically with Türkiye, and you can see it there. They instantly go to Kratsov on the inside. A beautiful feed from him, and Bobrov gets them off the mark here. So, as we said, you know, this Ukrainian front line to both guys here in the starting five, but also coming in as well. As the physical presence to fight both ends of the floor. As Kovliar picks up the first foul. That's the bat we were talking about, him against Tazer. As now Hazer using the screen, goes cross court. Extra pass for Korkmaz. He has the step, glides in, gives it to Yurseven, who loses the handle. And here comes Ukraine. And the boos rain out in Istanbul. Nice little step to the baseline. Molinovic kicks it back out. Kovliar penetrates, wide open shot. And a hot start for Ukraine there. It is Pavlo Krutos knocking it down. Had a couple of days off, Krutos, as he picked up some foul problems last time out. Sapahi to the low post. This has been a problem for every team, trying to stop him as he gets the score here. So Kina Sapahi, you know, he's a big guard, always dangerous, trying to match up with him. You send two people and it leaves one of these other, you know, really high-powered scorers open for Türkiye. As you can see, Hazer causing problems on the defensive end. Bobrov moves it on. Only 4 on the clock here. They've got to go quickly. It's a poor pass. Korkmaz saw that one coming. Heads in the opposite direction. He wants the foul, Korkmaz. Won't get it there. As he settles the little fake and finds this space at the rim. Shatterman not impressed. A lovely little feint there from Korkmaz just to free him up. That's the space needed. Kratsov rolling. Kolivar pulls it out. Says let's go high pick and roll instead. Tries to reject, steps back over Hazer as he gets him on his heels. How good is that move from Alexander Kovliar? We've seen him at his best here, but crosses over, just a little bump to get Hazer sliding back. That's all the space he needs. A bright start from Ukraine. They are very focused on this one. They have top position in Group C in their sights, that is for sure. As Şengün comes to collect it. This is where his versatility is on show. Handles the ball on the perimeter, gets deep in the lane, and gets himself to the line. He has a really good ability. There's Şengün to draw fouls and to get free throws. Seen, you know, over the 2 games, he averages nearly 5.5 points a game from the line because he's able to get himself there so often. 7 free throws yesterday, 6 the day before. He's a really high percentage shooter as well, as he's 11 of 13 over the course of this tournament. So it is Olympic pre-qualifying action here. Türkiye making it a 2-point game in the early stages. Ukraine, bright start from them. And now Kovlar wants the high screen from Hazer. Loses him. His pass is deflected though. Good defense from Türkiye, and here they come. Sapahi uses the screen, kicks it. Şengün steps into the 3. That is nothing but the bottom of the net. I think he likes that one. Şengün just walked into it nicely. It was all about the pass from Sapahi. And now pressure from Türkiye. Ukraine with a nice find on the kick-out 3. Doesn't go from Vojinovic. Türkiye with their first lead get a chance to extend it even more. Korkmaz thinks about it, takes it. Too strong. Bobrov down the floor early. Will they try to go to him on the low post? No. It goes high. Nice little footwork from Krutus, and then Bobrov is fouled. And we'll be at the line here. A little nod from him. Yeah. Şengün it is that picks up the personal. Yeah, good call from the official. Just the first on him. 2 shots for Ukraine then. Coach Stepanovsky working that sideline as Bobrov makes number 1. 2 of 2 for him. Ukraine will bring the pressure, but again, look at the versatility of Şengün. Wow, he brings it down the floor, Euro steps past his man, lays it up for 2. You know, that's starting big for, you know, Turkey. Showing his versatility, putting it on the floor. Kolivar draws 2 players, kicks it. Krutus's jumper doesn't go, but the offensive rebound and put back. Well, the defense had to rotate to challenge the shot, and Ukraine doing exactly what they should have done. Andrei Volinovic crashes the glass and puts it home for 2 more. Sapahi gets deep, has to throw it out. Şengün's made 1. Yeah, doesn't take it here. We'll go to US7 instead. US7 loves that little turning hook. Good offensive rebound on his own miss. But he comes up empty again. Volinovic will set the feet here. Why not? Smooth looking stroke from him. He has 5 in a row then. Volinovic just kind of wanders into it. Knew the pass was coming. Great spacing from Ukraine. And Sapahi sneaks in for an easy 2 the other way. Not sure what happened to the defense on that possession. Kratsov goes at US7, can't get the finish. Here, once again comes the playmaking of Şengün. Now Hazer, foot on the line. He's been quiet. Hazer hasn't got into the offense yet. Sapahi says, let's slow this down. We've got a good shot, but we want to organize things here. It's the stack action, and again, Sapahi, I was about to say, gets to the rim, but great defense from Kratsov. Kratsov will go to the bench here. Good work from him, and Krutos as well. So this is the substitute we were talking about. That is Artem Pustovi coming in. He's the replacement for Kratsov, who just got the block, but he can be a game changer for Ukraine when he comes in. And speaking of game changers, Şengün, 3 of 3 from the field now. It is 9 points for Şengün. And this is what Pustovi can do. He makes that jump shot usually. He's pretty comfortable from that range. This first one, a little sighter for him. Bounces clear, and we're tied at 15. Hazer using the high screen. Hazer goes to US7. US7 likes to shoot the 3, and he knocks this one down. Quickly the other way. A goaltend is going to be called against Şengün. So 2 is good for Kovliar. Here we see US7 spacing beyond the 3-point line. Gets it. Confident stroke from him before the response from Kovliar. Hazer and US7 once more. This time US7 rolls. Hazer gets his man on his back and gets it. He wants the push as well. That's what he's telling the official. Confident tournament from this man. You know, been good in every game. We know he can slash, get to the ring, and you know, defensively real high level, but over these last few years, really added more of an offensive game as a facilitator and shooter. Kovliar is going to go out. There you see the defense from Hazer. And Zotov in for the first time at the point. Offensive foul. Oh, I didn't see that. Looks like it'll go against Mashula. Yeah, Mashula for the illegal screen. Gives it cheaply back to Türkiye. Sapahi has the ball. Nabi Hazer coming high to collect it. Şengün wants it. Bobra fights with him, gets him out to the free throw line, but gives up the offensive rebound. Here comes Türkiye as Sapahi commits the personal. First foul on Sapahi, just the second team foul as Bittim comes in. So a couple of changes. Oh no, I thought Sapahi was heading out as well. He stays in, Hazer goes out. The three from Mashula, that's what he does. Alexander Mashula, a floor spacer. Can't go under screens against him. As the foul is called, and once more, 2 shots to come for Şengün. And the problem is that's the second foul on Mashula. Şengün back to the line. We said he shoots a lot of free throws. What a game for him already here. This could take him into double digits, as he has 9 points. A high-scoring game in Istanbul so far. Probably suits Türkiye more. We've talked about, you know, the strength that they have in depth. You've got guys that can just continue to bring into the game that will keep up this scoring effort. For Ukraine, they'll probably be more interested with managing the tempo. Şengün just 1 of 2. But he has given his team the lead here. Zotov in, Mashula. Mashula waits for the screen. We'll take another one. Why not? Mashula. Bottom of the net for him. Great work. As now, Pastovi's got to guard Yusevin. No double team come in. Good challenge. Yusevin misses everything. Pastovi's down the floor ahead of him. Can they find the big man? No. But, they do have the advantage on the drive, and a great finish. Vojinovic. Strong work from him. And it is going to be a timeout here. Ukraine, 4 points to the good with 1:20 left in this first quarter. Türkiye are going to talk this one over, as Ukraine have showed this is not going to be an easy game. They are showing here in the early stages that they are a team that can definitely cause an upset and win top place in Group C. The frustration coming out in the timeout there for Coach Adaman. It has not been the start that Türkiye have been used to. They've walked through competition in Group C so far. This Ukrainian team is giving them a stiffer test than they are used to. It is a 4-point lead. Ukraine 25 points in the opening quarter already. So Türkiye have gone back to the bench. Hazer's back in. Uğurlu now is at the point guard position. Shanli comes in too. So a host of changes. This man remains though, as the soft touch for Şengün is good. Uğurlu falls to the floor. Ukraine move everybody around. But a foul is called. Possession back. To Türkiye. They've got a chance to manage the clock here. A real 2-for-1 opportunity. Should they be able to do it? Korkmaz, pick and pop with Shanli. Ukraine chasing now. Good job scrambling. And from the advantage that Türkiye had, it's not a great shot in the end, but luckily for them, Şengün has done everything so far. Picks up the offensive rebound and ties the game at 25. Şengün, 14 of the 25 for Türkiye. Last 10 seconds now for Ukraine. They will hold for the final shot. Foul is called. That's the foul to give for Türkiye. We've got one more as well. For Ukraine, they need to, be aggressive, looking for a score here. They don't want to try and use the foul when Ukraine are in the act of shooting. So Osmani comes in. So does Ulubayev for defense. 5-point fine. Kovlevar back, trying to find some room. Here he is. Got some space. Foul is called though, Shanli. They do commit that. So no more fouls to give for Turkey. It's 3.9 seconds. Ukraine has. Try to go back door. Kovlevar gets it away. Oh, he got a pretty good look. And they're going to count the basket. Basket's going to be counted, I think. One referee. So we'll wait for some confirmation as to what happened there. Referees will talk it over. It is quarter time here in Istanbul, that is for sure. The teams have gone to the benches. They're talking it through. The referees are still in discussion about the final shot. From what I saw, the ball hit the ring, it hit the backboard, and then, then it was wiped away by Şatek Şanli. So referees confer that the basket will not count. And at the end of one quarter here in Istanbul, it is Türkiye 25, Ukraine 25. High scoring one here for the first 10 minutes. So, as you would expect, look at the percentages of both teams. Ukraine 5 of 7 for 3. But for Türkiye, it's all been about Şengün. We will see the highlights from that first 10 minutes. It's Ukraine. They had a good start. First couple of minutes really set them, well for the rest of the game. For Türkiye, where would they be right now without Alperen Şengün? 14 points for him. He is 5 of 7 from the field. He has half the field goals for this Turkish team, as he has been the focal point of everything, really, for them, with 14 points, 3 rebounds. And the question for Ukraine is what they can do to slow down the big man. Here he is, showing the versatility. He's done a bit of everything. He's posted, he's hit jump shots, you know, he's put the ball on the floor. So he is a nightmare matchup, but Ukraine have some tough matchups of their own that Türkiye have got to deal with, and that is why we are tied at 25 here after one quarter. We're ready to go as Türkiye will have possession at the start of quarter number 2. Same five for them. Hazer hands it over to Ulubay. He's got some room, doesn't take it, goes to Shanli. Shanli pushes off, gets Pastovi in the air, and will be at the line. Osmani and Oglu also out there for the Türkiye team, and this is going to be interesting where this 5 will go for offense. The main facilitators for Türkiye usually, you know, Korkmaz and Şengün as well. Without either of those on the floor, is this the opportunity for Ukraine to try and get a little bit of a lead going? They have their 5 with Bobrov, Kovilar, Pastovi, Vojinovic and Zotov on the floor at the same time. Means that Zotov may control the point, move Kovilar off the ball a little, or he can be a bit more of a scorer. This is the guy I think they've got to try and get going in Pastovi. First, Bobrov gets it across the half, and now they'll settle to set the offense. It is Zotov on the runner, doesn't go. Only one team winning that rebound. Good work from Osmani. He got the rebound, but Shanli was the box out man as well. Here goes Hazer. Fails to convert. Kovilar crosses over, beats his man, kicks it. Open 3 is good. Ukraine getting out in transition when they bury the 3. Zotov making his first points, but it's all about that man there, Alexander Kovilar. Plays through the foul. Here comes Hazer to the sideline. Osmani bouncing his way to the basket, gets a score on the far side. That's too easy for Osmani, really. Zotov into Pastovi. He spins, 2 guys come in, trying to find some room. Pastovi has it rejected and then taken away. Here comes Türkiye. It's Oglu. Forced to slow it though as the defense recovers. Hazer draws the double team. Fouled on the pass. So second foul against Kovilar. That's Hazer using the rescreen. Defense tries to jump out on him. Just a bit too much physicality from Kovilar. Substitutions. Kravtsov comes back in for Ukraine on the inside. And Krutos as well. Bitim in for Türkiye. It is Oglu. Osmani on the drive, runs into the brick wall. It is Kravtsov though. The crowd don't like it. They wanted a foul. Zotov attacks and he will go to the line. They won't like that one then, as there was no foul at one end. Zotov rewarded with 2 free throws. There's the foul, so Uglu goes out, Sipahi back in. Zotov, strong game off the bench, 4 points for him. As he goes for 2 for 2, and he's going to get the steal. Bitim threw it straight to him. And now the delayed trail man is Kratsov. And he comes from the far end and gets the easy dunk. A nice 3-point play for Ukraine. They hit the free throw and then 2 from the steal as well. Pass out, finds Osmani, but look at the defense of Bobrov. Does a great job. Challenges the shot, and it's going to be an offensive foul against Ulubai. Doesn't like it. Credit the defense. Ulubai, is frustrated, right? Saw why the referee. Look at the fight in there from Kolovar. And then here it is, Kratsov coming down the floor. Nobody recognizes. And I think it was Shanli couldn't get back in place, and you can see the frustrations for Türkiye because Şengün has had to come back in. Got about a 2-minute break. They need him out there. Kolliart gets the step as Sipahi turns his head. Kratsov gives it over. Kovlar. He's got 2 on him. Someone's going to be free. It's Bobrov. He can shoot it. Loses the handle on the drive, though. Türkiye, they've got it coming the other way. Şengün, he's open. Has a step along the baseline. Good recovery from Bobrov. Ataman's going to pick up a technical foul here. He's incensed on the sideline. Believes it's a foul. He's still not happy. And now he sits. It looked like one of those typical plays for Şengün where he's just able to manufacture a trip to the line for himself. But that time, Bobrov appeared to get it cleanly. And Kovlar will take the extra point for Ukraine. Let's have a look then. Oh, yeah, he had position, did he, Bobrov? He was straight up. I think Coach Adaman says he got hit on the arm, but I thought Bobrov, I agree with the official, was straight up, did a good job defensively, but a steal. Ulubai ahead of everyone, gets this dunk. Good recovery from Ulubai there. That's the type of thing the crowd love here in Istanbul. The momentum was there for Ukraine, but the crowd on their team. Players can't even hear the whistle. As a foul is called against Bitim. Fourth team foul against Türkiye. So for Ukraine, they've got to continue to be aggressive. They'll get some freebies from the line if they are. Kovlar misses badly, but Bitim with the rebound. He looks to push. Türkiye got to use this energy, but they don't want to get carried away. As Zotov says, let's slow this down, take the crowd out of this one. Third team foul against Ukraine. There is the atmosphere here in the Sinan Arena, lifting by the second. Ulubai will bring it in to Sipahi. He wants the screen from Shanli. This is what they're looking for. Pick and pop. Well guarded by Ukraine as Ulubai knocks down the 3-ball. And Ukraine are going to try and take some noise out of the arena here with a timeout. Ulubai knocking it down. He's got 5 personal. Smooth stroke from him. Kratsov did a pretty good job challenging it. But the offense was just too good, and it's a 1-point lead for Türkiye then. 34 plays 33.
If they triple switch Slava, you are off to take the shot. If they stay zone, 3 down. Let's go.
What a game this has been. I said, we knew that Türkiye, the favourites coming in, they were #1 in the FIBA power rankings before the tournament even started. We knew how difficult they would be to play against. Şengün misses the dunk, and especially here at home, this Türkiye team. But Ukraine have proved worthy right now in this game. Great work from Sabahi to get the steal. Şengün tries to make a post-up. Draws the second foul against Bobrov. Wilanovic comes in. Smaller lineup with him. Playing that 4 position then. As he will probably be the man that has to match up with Şengün now for this next couple of minutes. And Şengün, after a fantastic first quarter, has the free throw here. He's been quiet in the second. 15 points personal. Yep. 2 for 2 for Şengün. And Türkiye have the 3-point advantage now. Pick and pop for Volinovic. Defense switching. This is the mismatch though, as they get it to Kovalova. And now the drive. Too strong from Zotov. He manages to get a piece of the rebound though, and it will stay with Ukraine. So Turkey tried to snatch in the rebound, but look at this, quick hands from Zotov, and just knocks it off the head of Ulubay. It's the reaction of Coach Stepanovsky. Zotov holding and waiting, gives it over to Kovalova. Kovalova to Mishula for 3. Misses everything. Maybe a little piece of it, perhaps, from the... excuse me, that's Volinovic that shot the 3. I think Şengün got a piece of it. As now, turnover. Taken away by Kratus. Kratsov, guarded by Shanley. Taking his time, gets deep in the lane and finishes it off. Well, Kratsov, an experienced man for this Ukrainian team up front. Showed that experience there, no hurry for him. And now they're going to switch him onto Şengün. Here it is, Kratsov with the matchup. Şengün just so quick along the baseline, and it's a foul. Well, across these 3 games, there has to be at least 5 times in the low post that Şengün's pulled this same move. It's his go-to. You've got to know it's coming on the scouting report. And I think he just catches people with the speed that he's able to make the move out. So even though you know it's coming, Şengün just spins to the baseline, especially on that far side. And once he has that little bit of a step on you, that's where he's difficult to match up, because great footwork. He's can finish right and left. Excellent passer as well if anyone comes with help. And as we said, he's just got a knack for getting himself to the line. First is good. Just one of two before Yurtseven picks up the rebound. That's going to be the heartbreaker for Ukraine. As now Şengün puts it in. So what should have been, possession for Ukraine gives two more to Türkiye and two more to Şengün, who has 19 in this first half. Big game coming for him. Pavlova trying to find that room. He can't. Gets it back up high. Isolation for him. Guarded by Sipahi. Bitim tries to get the steal. Good kick out. Zotov's three doesn't go. Rebound. One by Türkiye. Great work by Sipahi to save it off the legs. Here you see it's Şengün who tips it. Sipahi just throws it right off the legs of Kretus. Four-point lead for Türkiye with possession. They've never had a larger lead than this. And this might be the chance as Ulubai slides in, has it tipped away at the last moment. 8 on the clock. There's Dovi back in. I said he's got to be that man now to step up for Ukraine. There he is with the good quick hands defensively, but he can change the game both ends. But Tim didn't want it. Şengün spins, fades a little. Jump shot doesn't go, but another offensive rebound for Yurtseven. But Tim moves it on. Sipahi trying to find a room. Yurtseven's finish rolls out and will go to Ukraine. Şengün again complaining to the official, wants a call. Here he is on the drive. I can see why he wants the foul there. Play continues because Yurtseven's up wide open. Should have put it in. It will be possession for Ukraine. They escape there. And a chance to make it a one-possession game again. So Ulubai coming back, going back out. Korkmaz replaces him. Mashula here with the ball into the game once as well. Mashula coming off a couple of screens. They'll look for him. That's the three-point threat. This is why Mashula buries it. Wow. Degree of difficulty. Mashula was a good couple of sets. Look how far out he is. Just catches Korkmaz unaware because he paused before he shot it as well, which is extremely difficult to do. Mashula, though, makes the shot, and he does make it a one-point game here. But Tim tries to respond. Does. Off the screen, but Tim, dribble pull-up for him. Puts Türkiye at a 42 now, 4-point advantage. What a back-and-forth game this has been. Mashula moves it on. Volanovic will now try and back down against the double team. Mashula over the top of Şengün. This time misses. Şengün's down the floor early. Sipahi doesn't want to go to him. They'll want Yurtseven on the mismatch. Great work from Ukraine. They saw it coming. It was just too slow. Sipahi wanted Yurtseven to dive quicker so they could feed him with the mismatch. Once more is this play, trying to free up Mashula. He's got a little room. Now Bustovi, cross-court pass for Zotov. Looking for the three-ball, Ukraine, but they can't hit it. Korkmaz the other way to Bitim. Yurtseven's got position to rebound. There he is. And he puts it home. Great work from Ömer Yurtseven. He got down the floor. He held his position well, knowing that the three was coming, and he was in prime real estate to pick up the offensive rebound. There he is. sealing off his man. And he has the ability to finish as well. So timeout called by Ukraine. It is a 6-point lead for Türkiye. It's a 44, plays 38.
Doesn't matter what they play, hey, play 3 down. Zone or man to man. Look at this trick with the forward. And after they try to deny Sanya, pass to 5, hand all attack, okay? There the bonus, find the foul. 2 defense, take higher, understand? Let's go.
1:22 left in the first half. A closer game than some expected, perhaps. Ukraine really are holding firm. Both ends of the floor, been impressed with them. Even in a high-scoring game, they've been able to keep pace with this high-powered Türkiye offense. Can they get a little bit of momentum heading into the break then? It is Kovliar off the timeout, gives it up. Mashula heads to the baseline, and now they've got the advantage. Vojinovic can't finish, and who else but Şengün pulling in the rebound. Well, hasn't he done? Alperen Şengün, 19 points, 4 rebounds now for him. As Hazer looks for Korkmaz. Korkmaz, his runner is good. Oh, just like that, lead now starting to stretch. A whistle. Foul against Korkmaz. Not much in it with Mashula. Has bought himself a trip to the line here. Could be some very timely points for Ukraine, but he misses the first. Needs to make the second. He does. Lead still 7 though for Türkiye. Again, opportunity to manage the clock in their favor. Hazer off the screen, kicks it. Şengün thought about it. He's going to put it on the deck. Oh, Şengün passes to U7, but the defense gets back well. 3 seconds now. Korkmaz, they don't want to foul him. Kovliar will be fouled by Korkmaz. So it'll be 2 shots for Ukraine. And let's have a check, because fucking Korkmaz has just picked up his second. Good work from Kovliar. Lovely feed for Şengün, but the size, the length of Pustovi closed up the gap that was there for U7. Kovliar makes number 1. What a tournament this man has had. Really has been a leader for Ukraine as he hits them both. Both teams making some changes, getting the players on the floor for this final possession. Turkey bringing out the offensive 5 for Ukraine. They'll be shifting to get their best defenders out there, try and save anybody for foul trouble. So that's why they take out Kovliar. And now, Kravtsov versus Sapahi. I'm not sure that was the matchup they were searching for. Ukraine, Bobrov guarding Şengün gets a score. Well, Ukraine tried to organize themselves. It backfired. Şengün just gets the ball at the front of the rim. And not only does he get the score, he draws the foul as well. There we see it's a foul against Bobrov, who's only brought in for this final possession. No, it's not Bobrov. Excuse me, it's Kratsov. It's called for it. I was going to say what a disaster that is if it is Bobrov, because he'd been held out because of foul problems there. That's a second on Kratsov. A host of guys now for 2 fouls for Ukraine. We'll touch on that at half. But first, let's see this free throw from Şengün. Well, that caps a first half for that man. Wow. 22 personal as the long shot doesn't quite go, and we are at halftime here in Istanbul. Frustration for Ukraine, but they're hanging on. It is Türkiye 49, Ukraine 41 here at the break. Well, a murmur around the Sinan Erden Arena. Some of that will be because this is a close game. You know, it's perhaps flattering for Türkiye right now to be leading by 8. Ukraine have matched them throughout. The question is, can they do it for a full 40 minutes? So top scorers, there's only one man really, Şengün. 22 points in the first half. What a game he is on his way to having. Can Ukraine do anything to slow him down in the second 20 minutes? Well, highlights from this second period. He said some foul problems for Ukraine. Bobrov has had the tough ask of guarding Şengün. He has picked up 2 fouls, as does Kratsov, who got the one there right at the death of the first half. And then already Kovlevar, Mishula and Pistovi all have 2 fouls. That's why Pistovi went out. That's why Kovlevar went out for that last possession. And he didn't want to pick up a cheap one for those key guys. For Türkiye, you know, we said how good has Şengün been. He's got 22 points. He's got 4 rebounds. He has an efficiency of 23. The question for them is, if he slows down, if he runs out of gas, who is going to step forward for Türkiye, because no one else really has a great rhythm. Sapahi 2 of 3. He's got 4 points. U7 has 5. There's not much else for them in that first 20 minutes. So we are here at the half. Ukraine have shot it 7 of 15 from beyond the 3-point line. That has been the thing that has kept them in the game. And again, the question is, can they just continue with their strong play? Can they get into a late game against this Türkiye team? And one adjustment is stopping that man that they'll have to do. Or will it be Türkiye who finally break off the handcuffs and build up the lead? We'll have a break, but make sure you stay with us for second half action coming up shortly.
You need character. You need chemistry.
FIBA Basketball World Cup is the peak of the game.
It's the toughest competition in the basketball world to win.
That is why I will be there.
Because when you win for one,
You win for all.
Sanya on his feet, body count, and go big pop game for you. Flat, okay? No good. Finish it with Mishula, big pop ISO. Okay, understand? Next offense, 55, and after this, 2 down, okay? 2 times go for big pop, after go for big roll. Hey, defense, one side, one side.
Half-time here in Istanbul. Türkiye have the lead. That's to form. It's what we expected, but Ukraine very much alive in this one. They've gone toe-for-toe with the hosts. It is 49-41 here at half-time in the decider for top spot in Group C. If you have your phone, grab it now. Download the Courtside 1891 app using that QR code to follow along with all the FIBA news and basketball heading towards the FIBA World Cup this summer and beyond. So a lot of information in that timeout for Ukraine. Some changes to their lineup here in the start of the second half. See if that can have the desired impact. We said they are managing some foul problems. Look for Mishula in this particular offense. You could hear the pick and pop. Bit of isolation, probably with Volinovic. As now we are underway. 8-point lead, 49-41. Bobrov now. The pick and pop doesn't work for Pestovi. Good rotation from Sipahi. Now Bobrov finds Mishula. Mishula is lobbed past, taken away by Şengün. Well, Şengün was the star of stars here. The man who's coming off a great season in the NBA with the Houston Rockets. Gets a steal, and then Korkmaz gets going on the offensive end. I said somebody else for Turkey may have to step forward. Can't always rely on Şengün to have such a big half as he had on the last one. Now there's Pestovi. That's the jumper. And for Ukraine, it's exactly the way they played yesterday. At the start of the second half, they went to this pick and short roll jump shot for Akdem Pestovi. That gave them the separation in their win. Will it be the thing to keep them alive here as a foul is going to be called? Korkmaz to the floor. Volinovic will pick it up. Let's have a look. Well, he just he failed himself, didn't he? That's what caused the contact. Korkmaz made sure the referee saw it. Second foul on Andrei Volinovic. And I think a real effort for Türkiye to get Furkan Korkmaz going in this second half. And you've got to find that balance, as we were talking about with Şengün, to continue to use him because he's 7 of 11 from the field. He's unstoppable, but you know, you do need that counter, somebody else to come, and that's where Korkmaz could be that guy. 3 of 3 from him from the free throw line, and now he has 9 points personal. 5 of them coming here in this half. Mishula hesitates, goes to the inside. Bobrov drops the pass. Oh, and Hazer ahead of everyone. Easy dunk for Shemus Hazer. No one's going to catch him in the open floor. Glides in for the 2. It's been a quiet offensive game for him, just 4 points. Bobrov looks to the inside to Pestovi. The pass was kicked though. You see Bobrov looking, and Şengün with the save. Pestovi. 2 guys jumping out on Golivar. Now somebody's going to be free if they can find him for Ukraine. There's an advantage for Pestovi on the block. They haven't got time to get it to him. Şengün now adds a block to his stats column. Kicks it to Korkmaz. Korkmaz moves it on. Korkmaz didn't want the screen. Takes it, loses it. Numbers for Ukraine if they can keep it ahead. Bobrov over the top though. Volinovic is frustrated He knows it was a bad option from him. Yeah, it's just behind the man, wasn't it? Poor pass. Obrov goes out. Pavlo Krutos comes in. There's a turnover. And then Krutos, fresh off the bench, doesn't quite get the roll on the jumper. 13-point lead for Türkiye, thanks to this 7-2 start here in the third period. They have had some big quarters in this tournament so far. See if they have another one here. Hazer, well, Şengün wide open, misses, rebound, won by Ukraine. As foul is called. Sapahi sacrifices, and Alexander Kovliar takes the contact. Third on Sapahi. Let's see if he goes out and Berkoglu comes in, or if they'll stay with Sapahi for a little bit longer. Quickly to the inside. Mashula gets a freebie. Mashula's had a good game, scoring the ball for Ukraine. 12 points now for him. There's Korkmaz. Can't hit the jump shot. Kovliar pushing. He's got Mashula open on this near side. They don't get it to him though. Now Kovliar has a little bit of room, hangs. Offensive foul. Wow. Couldn't see anything from that angle. I'm sure we will see it on the replay. Push off. Kovliar, let's have a look. Is that number 3 on him? Let's watch. Yeah. Again, great work from the officials. Kovliar just picked up his 3rd personal. He's got to go out, manage those minutes now. And it is great work from Şemus Hazer. That was the man who was just, hounding the ball once again. So Zotov comes in. He's been good in his 10 minutes. It is Şengün. Can't finish. Frustrated. But manages to keep the ball alive for his team. Good work from Pistovi to tip it away. Has they thought about it? Sapahi now. Backing it down. Everybody worried to come double, knowing what a passer he is. And Sapahi just makes them pay. Shoots over the top of the smaller man. The lead back to 13. Pistovi's open on that foul line, gets it. Goes to a left-handed hook. What a tough shot. Artem Pistovi, 4 points personal. I said through the first half, he is a difference maker for Ukraine when he's playing well. As Sapahi's kick finds a wide open Korkmaz. He misses. Pistovi grabs in the rebound. Ukraine escaped there. A wide open look for Korkmaz. He won't miss too many. Pistovi on the roll. There's a little bit of room, but it goes out of bounds. Mashula, catch and shoot. Straight to Pistovi. He says, let's slow this down, let's get organised. He says the screen. Mashula draws 2 people, scoops it up for 2 more. Well, Alexander Mashula, 5 of 7 from the field, 14 points personal. Ukraine back in single digits. Good defense on Zotov as Hazer's tough shot doesn't go. They've got to keep Yurtseven off the glass though. And that's a breakdown for Ukraine on that possession. Did a great job of forcing a bad shot. They need to have Yurtseven get the offensive rebound. Mashula again off the pick and roll. Pistovi kicks it on. Zotov wide open. That's a big hit. It is Korkmaz off the screen, kicks it to Hazard in the corner. That's a better look. But again, US7's there to clean it up for Türkiye, and it will be possession for them. Yeah. Oh no, a foul is going to be called here. I think US7 is going to be called for the foul. Let's have a look on this. It's wide open in the paint is US7. As Hazard goes out. Bitim is in. And possession is with Ukraine, trailing by 8. Here comes Pastovi, open on the foul line, looking around. He's fouled by Korkmaz. Korkmaz saw the ball, he just couldn't resist, trying to get the steal. This is the play Ukraine love to go to when teams are being aggressive against the ball. You know, Pastovi's got the ability to shoot it from that range. Zotov to Volanovic. Gets deep in the paint, has it rejected by Şengün. 1.9 on the clock. Ukraine will keep possession. Stepanovsky's done a great job from the sideline. As his team organised here, knows the play they're going to run. Oh, they've got the open look. Rutaus, far side. He didn't get it to go, but got a nice clean look. Şengün. They want US7 because he's got a size advantage on the low post. Şengün shoots it and US7 slams it home. Well, US7 has done an excellent job on the offensive glass today. You know, really has. Anytime he's had the mismatch, hasn't sulked when he hasn't got a touch. His team hasn't looked for him. He's gone to get possession through the offensive rebounds. As the ball goes out. And this time it's Ukraine's chance for an offensive rebound. Zotov's shot misses badly. Pastovi going out because he's that matchup with US7. That's his responsibility to try and keep him off the glass. Kravtsov comes back. Let's see how he can handle the big man. And Ulubay comes in for Korkmaz for Türkiye. Kravtsov gives it up to Zotov. Zotov takes a tough three. Too strong. Rebound tipped by Sapahi well. To Bitim. Players slow down on the floor from Türkiye. Now they'll use the high screen. Sapahi's got Şengün gliding in for two. Timeout coming. Şengün continues to be the superstar here. Great work from Sapahi. Look at the pass. Şengün flying in. Moves to 24 points on the game. Şengün gives his team the lead, 64-52. Ukraine are going to talk it over.
You are going this side, not this side, Black. And here, Black, you must do open court. I'm not here to blockade. You should go back to game, Black. Understand, Black? Hey, only big bar. They go big rotation from the corner. Understand? Sala, light play there. This. You go slip screen if this power. Don't let the screen. 45-55. And this player is ready to cut, or you ready to take the shot. Understand? Hey. Next offense. 51 full. In zone 3 down. 51. Understand? Pass, hand off, big. Okay, let's go. Hey, Slava, you play two.
There he is, the man of the moment here in Istanbul. Şengün, 24 points, 4 rebounds. What hasn't he done? He's hit from the outside, he's posted, he's got dunks. Put the ball on the floor. Absolutely superb performance from Şengün today. Said, you know, he came into this tournament, into this summer, after the best season of his young NBA career. Big jump from him in year 1 to year 2. A near double-double, 14.8 points, 9 rebounds per game for the Rockets this season. We'll be looking for him to have a similar jump again next year. And Zotov off the screen, can't hit the 3. Bobrov has come back in for Ukraine. Sapahi. How deep is he going to get before he's met by a Ukrainian defender? Somehow he doesn't get a finish. Bobrov down the floor early. Can Ukraine take advantage? They can't. Zotov moves it on. Bobrov now. Going to be called for the travel. So Sapahi goes out. Berkoglu comes in at the point. Great work again for Sapahi. Kolevar coming back for Ukraine as well. Have to love him to start to get going offensively. Bitim off the screen. Foul is going to be called. Oh no, travel. Same call the other way. Yep, good work from the official. So Şengün is going to get a well-earned break here. Goes to the bench, 8 of 15 from the field. As he's replaced by Osmani for this last 140. Turnover. Oh no, one back again from Ukraine. Kratus can't finish. He will be at the line for 2. You see Kratus taking a contact. Third on Ulubai. You see, 2 for 2. It's still a 10-point game in favour of Türkiye with possession. 1:20 left. Third quarter. Ulubai over to Shanli. Now he'll take the 3. Oh, smooth stroke from Ulubai. Nothing but the bottom of the net. He hasn't missed here tonight. 3 of 3. Wasn't a lot of room. Defense was right there. Ulubai still able to hit though. Yes. Kolevar can't score. Bobrov times the rebound. And this time he misses again, Kolevar, but once more into the hands of Bobrov. Kolevar holds some weights. Now he gets us the switch on Shanli. Tries to find Kratstov on the roll. Is denied. Turkey have the decision to make. Ulubai is going to say, let's slow this down and use some clock. High screen from Shanli. Oglu, reverse, doesn't go. Last 8 seconds. Ukraine come quickly. Kolevar's going to get a foul surely. On his way to the rim. Ulubai is going to pick up his 4th. Hangs his head in shame. Yeah, just going to be... Oh no, that's his 3rd. So 2 shots to come. Here's Clevar. Rattles and comes out. 8 points for him, but just 2 of 6. A solid game, but we've just come to expect so much from him through those opening 2 games and how well he'd played. And this is a guy who's gone 23 and 25 in his 2 games. He has added 17 assists across those as well. So, you know, we're talking about averages of 24 points, 8.5 assists for him. And right now he has 9 points and 1 assist. So Bitim catches it going long, has the little advantage off the glass. Bitim counts it. What a hit from Bitim then to end the 3rd quarter. Türkiye finally look like they're starting to break this game open. What a finish. I mean, the defense, they got a great challenge, but, you know, he pumps and hangs in the air, goes off the glass. And it is a 15-point lead for Türkiye here at 3/4 time. There we see Bitim clearly gets it away in time. And it counts. So after 3, Türkiye 70, Ukraine 55. The question now is, do Ukraine have the heart? Do they have the belief and the fight to get themselves back into it? Türkiye are not going to stop. They're going to continue to be relentless, that's for sure, in front of these hometown fans. And, for the first time, the Ukrainian offense slowed their lowest scoring quarter, just 14 points for Türkiye. They only scored 21, which is their lowest scoring, but they pushed this lead out even more. They showed a couple of other guys started to get going, even though they've still been led by just an incredible performance from Şengün. But right now, Türkiye have the advantage. They have a lead that they can manage with 10 minutes to go. And as we said, for Ukraine, the question is, do they have the heart, the fight to try and get themselves back in this one? Players are out onto the floor for this final quarter then. It is the lead for Türkiye. They have 1 step towards top spot in Group C. Remember, that's what we're playing for here. These 2 teams have both advanced out of the group into the knockout rounds, where they'll face off against the top 2 teams from Group D. The question is in what position they will finish, as Şenlik can't get the easy finish to go. Oliver calls the play. Gets it now on Krasov. Screen. Bobrov tries to get the step along the baseline, bullies his man out the way and scores. Great work from Bobrov. It's just his 6th point of the game. So now, Galu controls things at the point. Here's Bitim. He must be confident after the buzzer beater. He finds Şenlik, whose jump shot comes up short. Chance for Ukraine to build again. Bobrov moves it on. Now he gets it on the low post. Mismatch with Bitim, kicks it, clean look. Doesn't go though for Volodymyr. Great offense from Ukraine there. They'll take that shot for sure. This is a man under the rim on the floor. Osmani it is. He gets up. Now he's going to step out for 3. Can't get it to fall. Good box out from Ukraine. Kovliar, his pass. Deflected. A foul first. The referee says he passed it off, so his end-line possession. Bitim called for it. Okay, need to get the ball in bounds. Just managed to find Bobrov there at the last second. Şengün has come back in, as has you at 7. For Türkiye as Ukraine commit another turnover. Frustrating for them as they've had a couple of stops on this end of the floor. Been able to get that little mini run going though. Ulubai feeds Şengün. He's going to be called for the travel. Korkmaz. So Hulu goes out. Double team against Kolova. Got to find someone. Bobrov can shoot the 3 ball. Comes up short, gets another offensive rebound. And now the finish is good from Volinovic. Sipahi has scored twice on that low block, kicks it. Şengün had a lot of room, didn't look to shoot, now spins and gets the friendly touch. Şengün, 26 now for him. Talks towards the bench, or is it towards the official? Not quite sure. Kolova passes it out, the cross-court pass to Bobrov. Defense though, ready for it, switches well. As now, Kolova. As it tipped from behind, a run out, Şengün couldn't regain his balance and sees the ball bouncing out cruelly next to him. He was desperately trying to chase it down. Let's have a look at this one. There he is, he gets the steal, tips it away, stumbles, gets his balance and then can see the ball coming, knows it's there, just can't get up in time. And, has a smile as Bobrov takes it and buries it. Said he does have that range. That's Bobrov as he moves to 9.6 rebounds for him. Korkmaz can't finish. Kratsov with the rebound. Yurtsevens to the floor. 5-on-4 now for Ukraine. Who's going to be open? It's Kratsov down the middle. Well, Şengün was left under the rim with 2 guys to guard. He chose to go to the perimeter and was punished with Kratsov trailing down the middle. So the score is good. Kolova with the assist. And timeout called by Türkiye as this lead has been cut back. Just 8. 72 plays 64. Sipahi brings it in. And Bittim on some weights. Going to go to the low post with Sipahi. Şengün open at the top, but Sipahi, I was going to say, lays it up, going to the baseline. He is fouled. Who's that's going to be against? on Ukraine. It is against the number 50. So Alexander Kovliar has just picked up number 4. Yeah, 4th on Kovliar. 5 minutes, 50 seconds to go. Big loss for Ukraine. If he's going to have to go out, there's no movement from the sideline yet. They'll let him go. As Sapahi makes the first. Both teams, I think they know this is the crucial minute or two right here for Türkiye to get that momentum back, just to, you know, ease the game open once more, or for Ukraine to keep this momentum going and make it a close one. A chance to get it into the end game. Kovliar comes off a couple of screens. Finds the open man in the corner, wide open, but it doesn't go for the open shooter in Vojinovic. He's had 2 good looks as Vojinovic. And now Sapahi, knowing 4 fouls, gives it up to Şengün. His 3 doesn't go. I think Ukraine have to live with that at this moment in time. They've just got to be careful of Şengün putting on the floor when he has that space. Krasov on the offensive rebound. Ball is loose. He's going to pick it up and puts it home off the glass. Stepanovsky applauds. He's quite happy. It is 8-point game. Şengün gives it up to Korkmaz. Now middle screen. Oh, Şengün on the cut, slams it home. I said, you've got to be happy with Şengün out on the perimeter, but you know, that's just a poor breakdown. The defense comes up way over to guard Yurtseven and left too much room for Şengün to go back door. Yeah. Kratus fouled on his drive. I think it was the right call. I think it was late. So it'll be 2 shots for Pavlo Kratus. But defensively, it's a mistake from Ukraine. They're going to have to talk about that one and get a little better. Kratus makes both, and then he goes out. Mashula in. And they'd love him to get going. Alexander Mashula, 5 of 7 from the field. He actually has 14 points for Ukraine. That is a team high. Bidim glides in. Easy 2 for Bidim. Makes it a 10-point game again. Made it look easy, didn't he? As Mashula trying to run him off some screens. He loses it. It comes off the head of Bidim. Whoa. Well, there's no complaint from Ukraine. How was it a backcourt? Did it not come off the head of Bidim into the backcourt? Obviously not. Türkiye possession, 10-point lead. And more importantly, we're under 4 minutes left as well. So as much as the lead is there, you know, for Türkiye, they can just continue to trade baskets right now. Offensive foul from Yurtseven is not going to do that. Gives it back quickly to Ukraine. The second against Yurtseven. 9 points, 13 rebounds for the big man. As Mashula hangs in the air, fires, tough shot. And that is rebound number 14 for Yurtseven. I'm not sure that's going to be a sustainable way of Ukraine getting into this game. Shots like that one. Korkmaz turns it over. This could be good for Ukraine. Some open floor. Somebody will be open. Vojlanovic gives it up to Bobrov, but no. Great recovery from Türkiye there. Mishula nearly loses it. And now he flips it over to Bobrov. His pass. Oh, Krasov was wide open. Inches from him getting it from a layup. Türkiye managed to save it. Was it Şengün who was? Look at the left boot. Excellent job from him. Sideline possession. The clock's been reset to 14 because of the kick. Lots of conversations. So Mishula. Oh, there's nothing in that. This could be an unsportsmanlike foul. But Dim is not happy. Immediately goes to the official. Mishula knew that one was coming. I'd like to see that again. There was conversations already. But Dim wasn't backing down. Mishula went into the middle, knew exactly what he was doing. Let's have a look. There's just nothing there, is there? Mishula's bought that one completely. Tim did nothing wrong in my eyes. Now this could be a big call if it is, upheld as an unsportsmanlike. It's 2 shots plus his possession. No. Yeah, I think. Yeah, and it's the right thing. This is a good work on the sideline from Coach Ataman, because he is going to use his coach's challenge against the unsportsmanlike foul, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this one overturned. So referees will go to the monitor. Coach Ataman uses his coach's challenge to get this call looked at, and it's a big call. 10-point game, a chance for Ukraine if it is upheld for 2 shots, 2 points in that, and then a sideline possession. It could easily be 5 points here for Ukraine, and what a difference that would make in the game. So that is what the referees will be looking at. Didn't see anything that Tim did. Number one, to justify an unsportsmanlike foul, 2, possibly even for a foul. He was straight up. He didn't back down, that's for sure. But Mishula, make no doubt, was trying to get the call from the official in my eyes. So the officials taking their time looking at this one. And it's Coach Manuel, referee Manuel Mazzoni on the right-hand side. He's the crew chief in charge of officials today. Let's see what the outcome is here. So they're going to call it as a regular foul against Bitim. Coach's challenge is successful then from Coach Ataman. It is not an unsportsmanlike against Bitim. 3rd on him, but it means it's just a sideline possession again. Oh no, it's going to go end line. End line for Ukraine. It's the 4th foul against Turkey. As Vojlanovic gives it over. Zotov calling, shouting. He's trying to organise his team. Wants Mishula to come out the way. Now he's going to drive. Flips it up high. Rebound there to be won. Krasov gets it. Can't finish over Yurtseven though. And then a foul as Yurtseven snatches it in. So Zotov frustrated. You can see lots of frustration for Ukraine there. And you've got to say, as much as all the credit will go to Şengün for the way he's played, and rightly so. Year 7 has also, had a big game here today for his team. He's 1 point away from a double-double, but 15 rebounds for his team. Korkmaz gives it up to Sipahi. Now Year 7 sets the screen. Sipahi waits for him. That could be the double-double, and there it is. Year 7, 11 points, 15 rebounds. And that front line for Türkiye really has been the difference here. A big minute sequence there, from the unsportsmanlike foul getting turned over, the stop on the defensive end, to that jump shot. That may well be enough for Türkiye to get the victory here today. It has made it a 12-point lead, 80-68, as Ukraine called a timeout. Ukraine with possession, then they trail by 12, 2:20 left. Olivar back in, last chance for him, as is big Pastovi as well. Pastovi ducking in, but open on the roll, and the finish from Krasov. Good play from him. He wants to foul, he's not going to get it. Makes it a 10-point game. Sipahi using the high screen. Now he's just taking his time. Tries to turn the corner. Şengün behind his back. The one-legged shot. Well, Nowitzki in a Turkish uniform. Şengün makes another one, as he moves to 30 points here tonight. Big performance from him. Olivar against Year 7 on the switch. He's going to look to shoot a three here. You've got to get a hand up. 5 on the clock now. Olivar instead kicks to Pastovi. His jump shot doesn't go. And then Şengün takes in the rebound and is fouled. Third team foul against Ukraine, so it'll only be a sideline possession. Şengün, again the release point. Able to bring the ball down the floor, get into the offense. Lots of movement from Türkiye here, just using the clock. Before now, I was going to say they get into the pick and roll, but Year 7 is called for the foul. A legal screen for him, but time taken off the clock. Yeah, clear foul. Point game. Ukraine need to go for a three. They need to go quickly. They're going to try and speed this game up if they can. Score up and then try to get steals. It's the only way back. Don't think foul is going to help them right now, but they've got to get scores. Pastovi screens. He's open on the free throw line. There he is. That'll be a quick score for them. Now that they've got to try and be up the floor, generate turnovers, or Türkiye are just going to run the clock out here. Sipahi knows that. He says there's no point in rushing. He stays high. Şengün waits for him. And now he will set the screen. Sipahi takes the three as the clock gets low and buries it. Sipahi with a dagger. Moves himself to double digits. Kolevar, two guys again, jump out against him. His pass, trying to find Pastovi, is loose. Ukraine maintain possession. Clock winding down though. Pastovi's rejected. Comes away holding his head. No call from the official though. And we have 10 seconds remaining here. Sapahi takes it. He will dribble this one out. And Turkey will wrap up victory once again in Istanbul. 3 in a row for them, but a well-fought game this one against Ukraine, who have proved they will be difficult in any knockout games, that is for sure. So, job done in the group stages for Türkiye. They take this one here tonight, 85-72 over Ukraine. High fives all round. Türkiye pleased for Ukraine. I think they'll take positives from this. You know, this is not a game they had to win. This is one for them to get some confidence, and they have showed, no doubt, that they can compete with this Türkiye team. But the quality was there for Türkiye, wasn't it? You know, whenever they needed it. Şengün, U7, we talked about the performances they had, but you know, it is a star-studded roster for Türkiye, and they just did what they needed to get victory here. I don't think it was their best performance, but they used a great individual outcome from that man, Şengün, to lead the way. And, you know, all they can do is beat the teams ahead of them, Türkiye. So why they didn't have perhaps the glamour and the you know, the distance between themselves and the opponent they've had in the other two games. They did what they had to, answering any questions that were asked. So the statistics are all in favour of Turkey, just by a glimpse though, as they used that 30-point game from Şengün to lead the way as the game's high scorer. Best action from the fourth quarter. Was an entertaining period. And it's actually won by Ukraine, their first win of any quarter, 17-15. Just wasn't enough, as we said. You know, whenever they were asked the questions, Türkiye always had the answer. Often it was this man, Şengün, who provided it, either scoring or you know, making some sort of play to help out with his team. He was the difference here today. No answer for Ukraine against him. And then going the other way, there's an assist for Kolevar, but you know, the star man for Ukraine was held in this game. Foul problems that limited him, that's for sure. Took 7 shots, he had 9 points and 5 assists. He had 5 turnovers as well. So, you know, while it wasn't a bad game for Alexander Kolevar, you know, you've got to say the Türkiye defense just took him out of it, and constantly trapping and hounding him with the ball. I mean, he wasn't the man making plays when they needed them to. And there is Şengün, 2 more of his points. Just sliding in to get a dunk. And across the lineup, you know, 11s for Sapahi as well. 9 for Korkmaz, 8 for Bidim, as we see him getting 2 of those 8 right there. On their way to victory here today. But the double-double of US7, who had 11 points and 15 rebounds. Şengün, 30 points and 5 rebounds for him. Sapahi, 7 assists to go with his 11 points. And credit to the performance from Alexander Mashula in the losing effort for Ukraine, as he had his best game of the tournament, 14 points for him. And here we see Şengün again into the Nowitzki-like fadeaway off the one leg. It is now Türkiye getting that little bit of a break before the crossover games. As Group C all wrapped up, they will be off tomorrow. As Group D will return. With Netherlands and Croatia battling it out, Belgium and Sweden before an off day for everyone, and then the semi-finals on Friday. So there is the confirmation of Group C. Türkiye and Ukraine will be the two qualifiers into the semi-finals. Türkiye, the top seed, will face off against the second place team from Group D. And to find out who that is, join us on courtside 1891 tomorrow night to see Netherlands, Croatia, Belgium and Sweden battle it out in Group D.